Welcome to TeleSports, a new kind of show featuring the best of both worlds in entertainment and sports. Tonight on TeleSports, we'll be previewing the upcoming seasons of Dexter, one of my personal favorites, Creepy Ain't the Word, Son, and Homeland, which will be premiering on Sunday, September 30th. Also, we'll go over Kurtis's Emmy picks. You know, speaking of Kurtis and Nate, they remind me a whole lot of Harold and Kumar, except without the medication. The scary part is, they're like that naturally. We'll also recap Week 3 in the NFL. And we'll give you the top 3 ALDS and NLDS series of all time. That's baseball, folks. And don't forget about the no-holds-barred topic. There's not much funny about today's introductions because they told me to hurry up and keep it between 40 and 60 seconds. I think I went a little over, so sue me. Now, here's Kurtis, who's a strict vegetarian when he's not eating Sonic, and Nate, who drank some strange water when he was young and became a New York Giants fan. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Dennis. You're being served at this very moment. Nate's going to be in a few seconds while he finishes his cups of water. I guess the elixir of Eli.
That's right.
Welcome to TeleSports, everybody. Thank you again, Dennis. Got a lot to cover today. We're so happy you've stuck with us so far. Here comes Nate in his, I guess whatever that is, Derek Jeter jersey. We'll be talking about him later on in the show.
Guess whatever that is.
We'll be talking about him later on in the show. Got a lot to cover tonight. We're going to also remember we're going to do our next clue, the third clue in our gas card giveaway. So it's a lot to cover.
Not many guesses for you, but you guys, so
That's because our clues are at the bomb.
they are the best.
They are the best.
They are the best.
So first thing, I guess I'll go over the Emmy picks. I did all right. I got 3 out of 5 right. Not too shabby. A couple of upsets. I was surprised that Damian Lewis won the Best Actor category for Homeland. I mean, he's a great actor. Well deserved. But that probably was the shock of the night. Happy that Homeland overtook Mad Men for Best Drama.
Yeah, it's about time.
I mean, Mad Men to me is a good show. It's always been kind of overrated, but I mean, Homeland I'm glad got its just due. And speaking of Homeland, it is going to be premiering this Sunday. Make sure you tune in. Showtime 10 o'clock Sunday night. It should be a great season premiere. I don't know how they're going to reintroduce Carrie's character, Claire Danes' character, and how they're going to repeat the success of season 1, but they got a lot to live up to, but I'm looking forward to it. Also, Dexter is going to be on right before that, 9 o'clock. It's kind of amazing. Dexter used to be Showtime's best show, but now Homeland's getting a lot of the buzz, and I'm not going to...
Dexter's turning into weeds.
It is turning into weeds.
They're hanging on just a little bit too much.
Well, the last 2 seasons of Dexter were absolutely whack. Let's put it that way. The first 4 seasons were great. They had great guest stars, but the whole Julia Stiles season and then the season last year where Dexter found God or thought he found God or something like that. The best part was the twist. So how is his sister going to react to him killing off Colin Hanks' character last year? That's going to be really interesting to find out. So it should be a great season. Michael C. Hall did a recent interview. The guy who plays Dexter said, Dexter is at its best when he's in hot water. Well, he's in hot water, so I'm hoping this season will kind of go back to the first 4. So those are 2 great shows on Showtime this weekend. Make sure you check those out 9 and 10 o'clock.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the 3 out of the 5. I think that's pretty good.
I would have liked 5 out of 5, but 3 out of 5 is
considering not an expert.
Not an expert, but
let's
see.
We're going to jump to the sports section of this. We have interesting thing that's coming down. It's almost October.
Yes.
Baseball, there's a bunch of close races. So we decided to give you guys our 3 ALDS and NLDS series of all time. If you don't know what ALDS means, American League Division Series, National League Division Series for the NLDS.
First of the 3 rounds of the playoffs.
And only best out of 5, so
yes.
It's pretty intense. So Kurtis, what's your no particular order first NLDS series?
I'm going to go 2001. I'm sure you know this year well. Arizona, it was right after 9/11. Arizona had a magical postseason run. They beat St. Louis in 5 games. It was a great series. Back and forth. They kind of split, no team won 2 in a row in the series. It was just kind of back and forth. And then Tony Womack, remember him, the little short guy with the weird batting stance, walk-off hit to win it in Game 5. I think that's a great way to end a series. So that's my first one.
And that really started them on a nice little run they had.
I mean, they had a magical season full of walk-offs. Remember, Luis Gonzalez got the walk-off hit in the World Series. So, I mean, it was just a season full of walk-offs. Well, sorry, dude.
It's enough that I got that hanging on my wall right now for the show.
Yeah, Ted Williams, yeah.
Sacrifice.
One of the best hitters of all time. You even have to give him his due.
My first ALDS series involves Ted Williams' old team of the Boston Red Sox versus the Oakland Athletics in 2003.
That was a good series.
Sox were down 0-2. In Game 3, walk-off home run by Trot Nixon, Wilmington, North Carolina's own. Game 4, Big Papi, David Ortiz, 2-run double in the bottom of the 8th when they were trailing 4-3, and they made that stick to win 5-4. And in Game 5, they score 4 in the 6th inning to take the lead, and then they win it. They end up getting some insurance runs and win it in 5. So that's my first one.
How hard was it to talk about the Red Sox, dude?
That's all I'm going to say about them.
All right, I guess I'll go to my next one, NLDS. I'm going to go Marlins versus Giants, 2003. Marlins ended up winning the title. Great series. It was 3-1 Marlins, but I think one of the greatest endings to an NLDS with Pudge Rodriguez throwing out, or runner getting thrown out at the plate, Pudge with the tag. Just great ending of the series. I'll never forget Pudge just showing the ball to the camera. And it was a magical run for the Marlins, who by the way, little known fact, they're the only team to never ever lose in the playoffs. So 2 times they've been in, the 2 times they've won the World Series. Just letting everybody know that. So, I'm just saying I am.
All right. My next one is probably the greatest postseason ALDS of all time, in my opinion. It involves my Yankees, and they lost the series, but the 1995 American League Division Series, the Yankees versus the Seattle Mariners.
I was at all 3 of these Mariner home games, by the way, folks.
Yankees were up 2-0 in the series. They won the first one fairly easy, 9-6. Game 2 went 15 innings. It was just crazy. Paul O'Neill tied the game with a home run in the 7th. In the top of the 12th, Ken Griffey Jr. goes yard, go up 1. Ruben Sierra follows it in the bottom of the 12th with an RBI double to score Jorge Posada. And then in the 15th, Jim Leyritz started his postseason magic with the Yankees by hitting a 2-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 15th. Game 4, game was tied at 6, and then Seattle scored 5 in the bottom of the 8th. That was such a great team. It really was. And then Game 5, maybe one of the most epic playoff games of all time. Randy Johnson comes in, gives up a run, actually, to Randy Velarde. He hit an RBI single, and then Edgar Martinez comes up and scores Joey Cora and Ken Griffey Jr., and he's laying in the dirt, teammates jumping on him, he's face down, and there's that iconic video of him when he's just sitting there laughing, just with his big
One of the great calls of all time, too. Dave Niehaus, he was a longtime Mariners announcer with one of the greatest calls. I mean, YouTube that he really gets into it. I mean, I was at that game personally. It just still brings back goosebumps. I remember I was sitting and Edgar hitting the double and Junior coming from first. It was just an amazing series. So I definitely agree with that one. My last one is going to be last year, 2011, Brewers versus the D-backs. Kind of a walk-off win for the Brewers. Game 5, do or die. I think it went 12 innings or so. Niger Morgan, I remember he scored the game-winning run. And then he just goes nuts. You could hear him, expletive. I mean, Niger Morgan's kind of a nutty guy to begin with.
Yeah, he's a little out there.
But I thought that was a great series. The D-backs are two of my 3. But I thought that was a great series, great way to end it. So I like a walk-off win as much as the next guy. So I like a walk-off win to end a series. I think that's pretty clutch.
And it didn't really happen too much in the ALDS walk-offs. So I had to pull it out. 2001 Oakland versus my Yanks.
Oh God.
It was a good series, a well-played series. Yankees were down 0-2 going to Oakland, and in Game 3, it was a 1-0 game. Yankees were up 1-0, bottom of the 7th. Jeremy Giambi hit a single. Terrence Long,
steroids, yeah.
Jeremy Giambi.
They both were on him.
Well, Jeremy Giambi didn't really do as good as his brother. But,
yeah.
Terrence Long with 2 outs. Terrence Long hits a double down the right field line.
I forgot about Terrence Long.
Yeah, good player. hit a double down the right field line. Shane Spencer overthrew Tino Martinez at the cutoff man at first base. And then Derek Jeter comes from second base to barehand the ball. Keep in mind, guys, they're up 1-0.
Okay.
And this is for the series. Barehands. Okay.
That's
one of the best plays in playoff history. Barehands the ball about 15 feet up the first baseline. Does the flip to Jorge Posada to get Jeremy Giambi at the plate. Yankees don't look back, and they end up winning the series and going all the way to the World Series and losing to Luis Gonzalez and his walk-off, sawed-off on a pulled-in infield hit against Mariano. So that's mine. So that guys, watch baseball is coming down to it. There's so many close races. The White Sox are down 1 game. Yankees and Orioles are a game and a half.
Yes.
So it's just great.
It's been great baseball in the Beltway this whole year. The Orioles and Nats have both going to probably make the playoffs for the first time in a long time. So I'll give them because that's in our neck of the woods. So I got to give credit where credit is due. So you want to go to No Holds Barred?
You know what? We're going to skip the NFL picks this week because we realized that we went over last week. What we were going to do, Redskins versus Tampa Bay. I'm going to go Skins. New England, Buffalo. I don't think Tom Brady can lose 3 in a row.
No,
I don't think it's in his
happen.
DNA, but he struggles against the Bills.
Yes.
And Chicago and Dallas. I'm going to go Chicago.
Okay.
So that's just quick.
Quick NFL picks. We know last week was a little bit long, so we're trying to. We know you guys are busy. Redskins, Tampa Bay. I'm going to say Tampa Bay wins. It's at Tampa Bay. Redskins kind of are reeling. I think they kind of went down to earth, and that win against the Saints really is not looking that great now. So I'm going to say New England, Buffalo. I'm going to think New England wins, even though Brady has really hard times at Buffalo. He had a horrible game last year. I think he threw 4 picks last year at Buffalo. I'm going to say they win because I don't think they lose 3 in a row. Chicago, Dallas. Both teams really didn't look that great last week. Dallas didn't look that great, neither did Chicago. I'm going to say...
Matt Forte's back this week, though.
I'm going to say Chicago wins. I think Chicago's going to go on the road and win. I just think they've looked a little bit more impressive than Dallas has so far to start the year. So hopefully we'll get those picks right.
Guys, our No Holds Barred is a little personal between me and this guy.
Yes.
It involves Derek Jeter versus...
Ken Griffey Jr., who left a bigger impact. Who's going to leave a better impact or a bigger impact on the game?
Curtis, go ahead, bud.
Ken Griffey Jr. I know the first thing he's going to say. Unfortunately, he never did win a title. I think that's the only thing he really didn't accomplish. Probably one of the, or if not the best, defensive center fielder of all time. 10 straight Gold Gloves. 13-time All-Star. Was named Player of the Decade by his peers. Probably one of the prettiest left-handed swings of all time. He was on the MLB All-Century team for the 1900s. Go look that up online. Look at the people on it. It's great company to be with. Was a home run champion in the American League 4 times. 8 straight games with a home run. He's tied with Mattingly for that mark. Just an amazing ball player. He pretty much single-handedly created the robbing of a home run catch. Now look how many people do it. He was one of the first ones to do it and do it well. So I think Junior is going to leave a huge impact on the game. He's also one of the big sluggers that really was never in the whole steroid talk in that steroid era. And unfortunately, if injuries didn't hurt him, I think he probably would be the eventual home run king over Bonds or Hank Aaron, who's the true home run king is.
Good points. Good points.
Thank you.
284 lifetime career average.
Dude, he's a power hitter.
Not that great. The only thing that he has over Derek Jeter is power and RBIs. Everything else belongs to Jeter.
Okay.
Jeter has, I think, 200 more stolen bases, and Griffey was considered a great runner. 200 more stolen bases, and keep in mind, Ken Griffey Jr. played and has played 5 years longer than Derek Jeter.
He was hurt some of those years.
I don't want to hear it, dude. It's still 22 years. It's still 22 years.
How many season-ending injuries did he have, dude?
Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Take care of yourself. The same thing can be said for Mickey Mantle. If he took care of himself, he would have been a lot better. Anyways. Derek Jeter, 320 lifetime career average, 200 and I don't even know the right number. I think it's like 255 career home runs, 1,300 RBIs. As a shortstop, the most clutch player since he came in the league. You cannot say anybody else. Who? Joey Votto? No.
I'm going to say David Ortiz is clutch.
David Ortiz was clutch for about 2-3 years when, keep in mind, in 2004, he tested positive for steroids.
Well,
Him and Manny.
that's good.
Go Red Sox. 04-07.
Yeah, Jason
Hate it.
Giambi, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. A-Rod, yeah. So
Jason Giambi admitted it, and it was in Oakland.
Well,
A-Rod admitted it was in Texas. I don't want it.
A-Rod, yeah.
Derek Jeter is going to leave a bigger impact on the game because he did everything the right way, taking nothing away from Ken Griffey. A lot of people hated him when he went to Cincinnati because he left Seattle. I think it was a great move. He wanted to go play in the same city as his dad.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's great. But at the same time, you hung on too long. You got a little chunky.
Well, that's how you know he wasn't on steroids, though.
Well, that's fine. I never said he's on steroids.
I know,
But what I'm saying is 5 championships,
Okay, dude.
World Series MVP, and the most clutch hitter maybe in Major League history.
I just think defensively,
And
Junior,
he might, and Derek Jeter, if healthy and everything, going into the next 3 years, could break Pete Rose's record of hits all
I
time.
can't believe you just said that.
He
Not-
is he's
not gonna
only
happen.
700 hits away, and he's
not-
younger than Pete Rose was at the same time.
Not gonna do it, dude.
He's only 700 hits.
Okay, he's
That's
not.
3 more years of what he just did this year. Because he's at like
He's gonna
200.
have
He's
to-
at 215 hits right now.
Dude, it's not gonna happen.
Okay,
I
I'm
mark-
just saying
mark my words,
there
he's
is
not
a
gonna-
chance that it could happen. I don't think it
No.
will ever because 4,200 hits is
It's a
crazy.
lot. It's a lot.
It's
It's
crazy.
not gonna happen. I also think that Junior's gonna be the first 100% unanimously.
No
named
one
person.
will ever be 100%,
Yes.
especially coming from the era that Junior is.
Junior
Even though
didn't do
no one,
anything.
even though no one said he was on steroids, nobody. Babe Ruth was even 100%.
Yeah, because Babe Ruth wasn't the nicest of fellows.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying. it doesn't.
All right, guys. That wasn't as intense, but you know we made our points. This guy thing, you know, he said that Ken Griffey was better than Joe DiMaggio, and I just started laughing.
Dude, it's okay, dude.
But we really appreciate everything. We're gonna go. Our clue for this week. I'm sorry if it throws you off a little bit. It's pretty good.
Go ahead.
You want to?
No, I'll say it. I'll say it. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, is the clue for this week. Once again, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
So we have Fruit Loops
And we have
Shamu
and Dr. Quinn,
and Dr.
Medicine.
Quinn Medicine Woman.
Well, I hope nobody's sick this week. So.
But guys, we appreciate it. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the responses on Facebook.
Thanks for the comments. Send
Week
us
3
questions.
recap. Very surprising this week. Just real quick, Kansas City. Very surprising.
Seattle, baby.
Yeah, nice
get
call.
that call. Yeah,
Nice
get that
call.
call.
Nice
Yeah.
All
Alright, guys.
Kansas City very good. Seattle good win. So
They did shut
Jacksonville
down Rodgers.
great win.
They did shut down Rodgers. The defense played well.
Yeah.
Did, dude.
Whatever.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys, take care of yourselves and be safe.
Thanks for the support. Seattle, yeah.